Hey friends, happy Monday. Today is Monday, April 27th, 2020. I hope you all had an awesome weekend and enjoyed the beautiful weather, although it was a little bit chilly out yesterday. But I hope you enjoyed the beautiful weather we had all weekend. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about rain. We haven't had rain in a couple days, but I think it's in the forecast for later on this week. But I want to talk to you about why it rains, where rain comes from, and we're going to start by reading a story called Let It Rain. Now, this is going to kind of describe a little bit about the season that we're in, spring. It's going to talk about some of the characteristics of spring that we've already talked about a little bit. So it's called Let It Rain by Marianne Coco Leffler. Let it rain. It's spring. Spring birds, budding trees, frogs and tulips, honeybees, digging, tilling, seeds to sow, planting carrots in a row. But then heavy downpours, rivers flood, our flower garden turns to mud. Let it rain. Rainbows, green grass, soccer fun, picnic, swinging in the sun. Lambs and bunnies, puppy licks, newborn kittens and little chicks. Building, painting, way up high, our little house in the sky. But then black flies, spiders, little ants crawl inside our farmer pants. There's lots of bugs out now, huh? Let it rain. Riding, gliding, twirling, dancing, bebop beat, cupcake treat. But soon, steamy classroom, blazing heat, wearing sandals on our feet. The weather's starting to change a little bit. Maybe our seasons are changing too. Hooray, hooray! Last day of school, heading to the swimming pool. Summer is coming, let it shine. So remember we talked a little bit, there he is in his rain boots in a puddle. So we talked about spring, how sometimes there's lots of rain during spring. And then our story ended with summertime and letting the sun shine all the time. So we still do have rain in the summertime, but sometimes it doesn't rain quite as much as it does in springtime. So I'm going to show you a little chart and we're going to talk about where rain comes from and why it rains. And then we're going to do a little experiment to kind of go with our chart. We're going to talk about why does it rain and where does the rain come from? Since we just read the story, Let It Rain. So here's my lake down here. And what's in my lake? That's right, lots and lots of water. So our water in our lake is going to evaporate. It's called evaporation. And that means little tiny drops of water. It's called vapor. It's so small you can't even see it. I'm going to draw them though so you can see it. They're so little. See my little droplets of water? They go all the way up. And when they get in the sky, they make our clouds. So our clouds up in the sky are actually a whole bunch of water vapor together that makes the cloud. So our water keeps evaporating all the way up into the sky from our lakes, ponds, rivers, even puddles. All going up into the sky. They're evaporating to make our clouds. And then when there gets to be so much water in our clouds get super heavy, right? If you get a whole bunch of water together, the cloud's going to be heavy. And then eventually it starts raining. All the water comes back down out of the clouds in the rain and goes back into our rivers and our lakes and our ponds. And there it goes. So Our water from our lakes evaporates, evaporation, it evaporates into our cloud. It turns into water vapor. Those are my little tiny droplets. They're going up into our clouds to make our clouds. And then our clouds get so full. I'll make my cloud full of water. All the water vapor all together gets so heavy. And then it starts raining. So all of our water comes back down as rain back into our lakes. So let's do an experiment to see if we can see what happens when our cloud gets too heavy with water. So I've got my cloud here up in the sky, and I've got my rain, my water that has evaporated. I'm going to put it in our cloud. It's evaporated from rivers, oceans, lakes, ponds, and we're going to fill up this cloud and see what happens when we put so much water in there that it gets heavy. Let's see. Just keep filling up our cloud. Let's see what happens when it gets super heavy. What happened? You see the blue is starting to come down. The rain is starting to fall now. The cloud's getting so heavy with all the water vapor in it that it's starting to rain. See the blue water coming down? Now it's raining. There it goes. See, just like we talked about in the picture I just showed you about our evaporation. And the cloud got so heavy with all the water vapor that now it's starting to rain. You see the water coming down? Super cool, friends. Well, that's all for today, friends. I hope you had fun reading our story and learning about evaporation and why it rains and doing our science experiment. After this little slide, I'm going to show you the one picture I was able to get this weekend of the birds that came to our bird feeders. We were outside most of the weekend in our backyard, so the birds were kind of scared to come close to us and get the bird food. But we did have a couple little brown birds. They're very, very small, so they're hard to see. I got a picture of them from far away. I was able to zoom in and see a couple of the birds coming in our yard. They'd hop through our grass and try and get close to the food, but they'd get scared and fly away. I still got a few pictures of them, so I'll show you those. But I hope you guys have a great week. Miss Peggy and I miss you and love you guys so much.